Namaste and welcome, beloved ones. Welcome to this amazing gathering of ascended consciousness.
Beloved angels, first and foremost, thank you for giving yourself the gift of connecting with this extraordinary group of beings that have come together this evening in the energy of the divine presence of the Sea of Neutrality, waving the gift of positive action. We are here tonight at Oneness Talk Radio, and Sri and I were celebrating, just before we came on air, we were talking about this earlier tonight. It's been 3 years. Can you even believe that? It has been 3 years since we launched this network. And when this network was launched, our vision was that we were seeing the coming polarities. We were seeing that the voice of neutrality was needing to raise so that balance could be restored. And that through the heart, we would each remember that all voices deserve to be heard. At the end of the day, we are each collaborators in this extraordinary consciousness. And in this moment, you have made a choice to be here with us in the celebration of our vision that 3 years later, 2022, the plans for Oneness Talk Radio is moving us into a full-blown network and moving this network into a much larger arena as part of the growth of the Avesa Quantum Institute experience. So stay tuned and remember, you are Oneness Talk Radio. Your voice matters. Make sure that you always let us know what your ideas are as well. And speaking of one of those collaborators, I know that we have the amazing, the one, the only, the Jess Juntunun, and I always make sure I say that right, Jess, because she will let you know if you don't. And that we have her with us. And wow.
Well, before we hand it over to Jess, I just want to again say thank you to all of you who have chosen to be here. Yes. Oneness Talk Radio is an opportunity to have community, to listen to ideas, to feel your hearts open, and to move forward as carriers of light and consciousness. And Jess Jutman has been one of those carriers, one of those goddess warrior types who has said, I've got a torch, and I've carried my torch forward, and you are all welcome to join me. And so Jess is a host at Oneness Talk Radio, and indeed a powerful healer and a doula and a person who has committed her life to service.
Yes.
And Jess, we bow to you.
We welcome you. Welcome, Jess. Welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for the incredible opening. And just to echo what you're sharing, this really is an incredible moment of oneness and the birthing of the next chapter in this incredible experience of this network. And we have a beautiful panel of hosts that have agreed to come forward and shepherd in and honor this experience. And you're going to be in for an hour of incredible treats and information and sharing. And while some of this will be practical, some of this is really about our consciousness expanding and how we really are meeting this moment on the planet. This is a conversation also that perhaps not many others are having at this level. And I know that we have incredible guidance here with Master Lady Kira Ra and Wisdom Teacher Sri Ram Ka as our hosts steering this ship for the evening. And we have your beautiful hosts all here. And in a moment, I'm going to welcome each of us to share a little bit about ourselves, our shows, because really, if you're not subscribed to Oneness Talk Radio yet, please subscribe.
Not?
Why aren't you? All these beings that are here have incredible shows, content. This is truly 24/7 uplifting music, content, sharing, and there's going to be so much more. If you're out there going, hey, I've got a skill for entertainment, I have a comedy funny bone, I've got a talent or a gift that could be showcased here, let us know, please. Email us. Where are we directing them? Oneness Talk Radio. What's the address? Support at Self-Ascension.
OTR at onenesstalkradio.com.
Just like it sounds, right? OTR at onenesstalkradio.com. Yeah, let us know. No, thank you, Jess.
Yes. And absolutely, in this, incredible moment, in this incredible gift, I'm honoring each of you that said yes to being here, yes to holding this space and this presence. So thank you. thank you for showing up. And, in my own experience, I've been with Oneness Talk Radio since almost the beginning. I think I
Yeah.
emailed in right after it started and said, I'm interested. And I had no idea what I was saying yes to. I had no idea. Like many of you may not have known what you were saying yes to. And this really does give us the experience to up level. It's been nothing but that from the beginning. So for me, my experience and what I love to share with Soul Fusion Cafe is radiant wellness and soul forward living, how to really bring your life into that stream of consciousness of that presence of wealth, of abundance in your spirit and soul. So I'm on Tuesdays at noon Eastern over here at Oneness Talk Radio. So would love to see you there. And I would love to I'm going to go around the room as I see everyone in my little Hollywood squares and bring you
I love it.
We have Hollywood
I want to know who
squares.
the secret square is. All right.
Oh my gosh. Well, we might find out. Careful what you ask for.
Yeah, I got it. I get it.
So yeah, in this moment, just inviting each host to just really share what is the energy and essence of oneness for you and celebrating this moment, and what are you sharing with the world. And I'm going to open it up with the beautiful Darren Ball first. Let's bring you in. How's it going, Darren?
Thank you so much.
Darren.
Yeah, what a welcome, and what a moment to be a part of. So Sri Kira, thank you. Jess, thank you. Great to be here, part of the host, and to our listeners, of course, too. I'm the producer of the Spiritual Freedom Show. We're a show based on the teachings of a set of teachings called the 9 Freedoms. And these were given by an advanced extraterrestrial intelligence known as Mars Sector 6 through the yogic mediumship of Master of Yoga, Dr. George King. And what they describe is our evolutionary journey to enlightenment and beyond. And our mission on the Spiritual Freedom Show is to help people to apply this wisdom in their everyday life as part of their own quest to help to change the world and to open the door of enlightenment in their life too. So again, pleasure to be here. We're on Saturdays, the first and third Saturdays, I should say, at 12 noon. So thank you again.
Thank you. We're so excited. I mean, this panel is already off to the most amazing start. Let's keep going because I'm so excited.
Yeah, incredible. And let's bring in the amazing Paula Rowe. How is Paula tonight? What do you have to share with us?
Hey, gorgeous one.
Oh, we don't hear you.
Sorry. Hi.
Hey, sweetheart.
Yay. I'm so excited. I got such goosebumps feeling the energy tonight. It's really amazing. And I'm really pleased to be here. I'm really excited about what this is going to do for all out there. And global unified breathing is what I'm all about. And right now there's a need to find ways to bring about a sense of calm in storms. And this is what every day seems to be all about for me, is to find how to let go of the external concerns and to be in a space where we can spend time within ourselves in that sacred gratitude. When we're in sacred gratitude, our whole world starts to shift. And that is what breathing is about. I've been doing this quite a long time, and I just keep plugging away. And I'm really, really grateful that I get to share the message of what breath really can do for us right now, especially in these times, increasing our ability to really stay and keep going. And no matter what, being aware that there is a center within us where it stays calm, where we can grow out from there, where we can, regulate our own central nervous system. So there's many components to breath work that really are helping all of humanity now. And that is what I'm all about. So thank you. And I'm really, really grateful to be here.
We are grateful to have that blessing brought into this panel this evening. Thank you so much, my love. I was really feeling that. I was noticing as you were sharing the energy that you're contributing into the panel this evening. So thank you. Thank you for that blessing. All right, Jess, keep going. I'm excited.
beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And moving over to our next amazing host, the incredible Patty Markham Peterson. Come on in, sweetheart.
Hey.
Hello. It's such an honor to be with all of you. And I am a co-host on Light, Laughter, and Lattes with my dear soul sister, Jerry Habstreet. And we are both, I'll let her talk about herself, but Avesa medical intuitives. Been practicing that for 10 years plus. And prior to that, I was a holistic healer and I have medical background. And so what I love to bring forward in our show, which is on Wednesdays, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 Eastern, is the underpinnings of dis-ease, imbalance, and helping people to understand the interconnectedness between all of our energy bodies, and then how to anchor more into the truth of who we are, to live with that greater peace, joy, authenticity, and up-leveling for the highest good of all.
Aho. And thank you. Really felt a lot of heart energy coming in. I'm enjoying how all the chakras of the physical body are illuminating as each one of you is illuminating another aspect of the allness. It's really quite extraordinary. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Jess, where are we going next?
Thank you so much. And in continuation of this beautiful, fantastic parade of hosts, we have the amazing Jerry Habstreet. Come on in, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry.
Hello. So I'm the other host of Light, Laughter, and Lattes, and I am also an Avesa medical intuitive and quantum healer.
So, sweetheart, we're having connection issues, Jerry. We're not hearing you at all, honey. So I'm just going to invite you to just kind of, yeah, there we are. All right. So there we are. We're hearing you now. So let's see if that energy, you've just got so much energy rising right there that we're just going to try and stabilize that a little more and invite you to share again, honey.
Okay, I'll try again. So my name is Jerry Habstreet, and I'm an Avesa quantum healer and medical intuitive as well. And the show Light, Laughter, and Lattes is a lot about just bringing more light to everyone and giving people ideas how to be lighter in spirit, lighter in their bodies, to lighten up with their emotions and really find more joy in their life, whether it be through the nourishment they're eating or spiritual practices, or just bring a little bit more upliftment and self-ascension tools to humanity.
Thank you for that illumination. You know, it's absolutely why you're in that stunning magenta field of eternal consciousness and love right now. So thank you for bringing that into us this evening as well. Namaste. Ooh, Jess, where are we going? The secret square.
The secret square. The secret's out. It's Donna Ostermeyer coming into the show. Welcome, Donna.
Hey.
Hey, namaste, everyone. First of all, I want to say thank you to Jess and Srinkara, and Oneness Talk Radio is an amazing place, and I am so grateful to have been a part of it for the past 9 months. It's an honor, and I absolutely love talking to people and helping them remember who they are. My show is Insightful Conversations with Donna. I'm a holistic health coach. I am very passionate about health and wellness and hydration, and I am intuitive psychic. I do Reiki, Avesa energy balancing. My goal and my mission in this life is to help people suffer less. And so my show, I bring on different guests that have different things to share with people, information, because really, if we are suffering in the physical body, if we are suffering emotionally, it's hard for us to lift, right? It's hard for us to awaken spiritually. And so we need that support. And so my show is a safe place to come where you can talk about anything. If you're struggling with addiction or anything, and we all have been addicted to something at some point in time, right? And it cycles sometimes. So it's a loving support where I want you to know how amazing you are, and that you are enough, that you are love, and that we are there for you as a community at Oneness Talk Radio, and Sheree and Kara and Jess and everyone here. So join me Wednesdays at 2:00 Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Insightful Conversations with Donna. Thank you so much.
Well, and Donna, thank you so much. And I just have to pipe into everyone out there that's listening and saying, look, if you have not yet said yes to New Year's Eve, you need to, because we have a massive announcement and Donna's part of it. So I'm just giving you a little hint of coming attractions of New Year's Eve. And we are so honored to have all of you here. You know, as Sheree and I gaze out at our set of Hollywood squares, I feel the love that's around us.
You know, I just need to add, since you brought this up,
please.
New Year's Eve, go to shreeandkira.com and learn what this event is all about, and you can register. shreeandkira.com. Be curious. Take a peek.
Yeah, for sure. And so, Jess, where are we going next, or are we there?
We are there. We are where we need to be at all times.
All right.
Thank you for this beautiful moment and introduction, and everybody for sharing, and you and Shree, you know, this is incredible. And I really am turning this over to you to start inviting this incredible conversation, and all of these beautiful hosts that are here that I know have so much to share with everybody. And you know, think about your questions in the chat, everybody. The last 15 minutes, we will be answering questions in that chat. So be thinking about that.
Ooh, I love that. So in order to ask a question, Jess, somebody just puts it in the chat. Is that what's going to happen?
Correct. Emmanuel will be moderating for us. Yes.
Fabulous. So, you know, if you want to make sure your question gets in there, because you never know how many are going to be there, you might want to get it in early. But just know that we're going to be looking at those questions the last 15 minutes. And that's always something that's quite beautiful, because you really have an incredible opportunity this evening to really receive a gift from this extraordinary collective gathering. And we've come forward here at a unique moment in our collective history. In all of the vast potentialities of all of the times that we could have surfed into, in the highest service of the all and the internal consciousness of that which illuminates this form, we have collectively arrived here now at this agreed upon linear sequence because of the experience of COVID. Your experience of the divine nature of this form knew you would be here now. So I want to invite you to take in a breath on that and to notice what you notice as you receive that. Is it met by an ego? Is it met by fear? Is it met by openness? Is there a chakra response? Is there a physical response? Because tonight we're diving into oneness in a world where COVID has become a household name, where we are now at a moment where there will be a generation of children that will have never known the world without COVID. Where I was sharing with someone the other day who shared with me that her children now have active shooter drills in school, along with all the other protocols of COVID. So it's more than just the one experience of the world of form that is trying to get you to really lock and load the fear gun. Right? Tonight, we want to offer a perspective. Tonight, we have been honored to be gathered by these extraordinary hosts who have committed their lives to sharing with you the energy, the positivity, the oneness experience that illuminates their daily reason for being. And we have all come together to sit at this beautiful table to explore the questions that not everybody's willing to explore. So we first want to thank all of our hosts for their courage and their spiritual tenacity, for their willingness to do the right thing because it's just the right thing to do. To just let go of ego and the need for competition and greed, and to really pay attention that there is enough for all, and that together we are really better. And that when we can come to this table as five-star generals all, thereby each whole in the absolute knowing of our divine contribution, then we sustain the sea of neutrality that offers the greater gift of illuminated balance for the planet. And at a moment when COVID is becoming a word, because all words are limiting, but when it's becoming a word that entices strong polarization, grab your favorite beverage, sit back and relax, and get ready to enjoy the other side of this conversation. And then make sure you tell everyone you know about it, because the voice of neutrality, the sea of neutrality is rising. 2022 is the year of the divine mastery presence, and we have reached an intersection where consciousness has expanded beyond that where it has ever been before. Every breath is a co-creation. And so why not co-create it with an opportunity for the oneness voice to just have a moment of your attention?
Mm-hmm. And so one of the things we want to bring forward is the recognition that as this pandemic has embraced the world with its energy, how have you responded to this? What has it called forth from you? What is it that you're saying, oh, thank you, COVID, because I am now more me or more functional or whatever the response is that's uniquely yours? Because with every situation in life, there is both a cost and a prize. The news media is filled with the density, the costs. What are the prizes? What are the things, the spiritual gifts that are arising as a result that are tangible and real for you?
Now, I want to jump in because this, this brings us to this other conversation, which is go back. How many of you actually remember the day that the COVID experience started really affecting your life? I remember the day here in March. Shri and I had just come back from India and Bhutan. We had been back just a little bit, and we had people on planes on their way to Ecuador, and we're on the phone going, "Don't get on the plane!" Right?
Yes, they're shutting down
the country, and like a conversation that you would have never thought you would have had, right?
Right.
And so that's what started Monday Magic. That's when Shri and I started being on the air 5 days a week. And the invitation at that moment, and the invitation I think that we're talking about right now is, and I want to grab our hosts in on this. It was an invitation to go into a retreat. Rather than seeing yourself as locked up, why not see that you have just been given the blessing of being able to really take time for yourself, really being able to dive in and do the work, to really say, you know what, I'm on retreat and I'm right here at my own home. And I have connection with the world. And so how we have been navigating this has brought us to this moment of conscious awareness. And so, Shri, I know we have a few other topics to go over tonight, but, I think for all of us, how have you been, how has navigating the past 2 years, what has been your secret to thriving through these past 2 years?
What would you like to share?
What would you share? What would your inspiration be to help others notice that moment? And so, we're really going to leave it. Do you want to call or you want to leave it open? You want to popcorn it? You want to do an ooh thing? Like I see Donna, go. Go. I see it. I see the ooh, me, go. All right. All right, take it away, as they say here in Ecuador. Go ahead. I'm getting coffee and sitting back.
Okay. For me, you guys were my lifeline. I got stuck in a relationship that was not serving me, and it became extremely apparent during the lockdown. And you were my lifeline. I look forward to being able to connect and hear all the things that you were sharing, which really helped illuminate. It showed very, very clearly the contrast happening in my life and what I needed to do and what I needed to change. And it was a profound time for me. And my life looks nothing like it did then. And thank goodness, I'm so grateful. So thank you. Yes, tuning into you. And if you've not found Shri and Kara and all of the material, please go look for it, because it's amazing and profound. And the things that you have shared have been so accurate and so supportive for humanity, truly. And I am so blessed to know you both and to have found this incredible community. So that's what helped for me.
Well, now,
Thank you.
Donna,
Yes.
I want to prompt something a little bit.
All right, here he
Because
goes. Get
first
ready,
off-
guys.
First off, thank you.
With
for
all
your
our
acknowledgement.
heart, honey. I mean, wow. I'm like, give me a tissue.
And one of the things I want to point out is that we respond when we're ready.
Right?
And you mentioned that you started your show 9 months ago.
9 months ago, your birthday. I'm loving that.
So I would just like to toss the question back to you. What positive or what quality came forward in you that you began sharing with the world? And I'm going to point to your show, but
right.
Go ahead.
And when Donna's done, somebody else get ready to hit that. It's going to be like the Family Feud, right? It's my buzzer. So unmute. First one to unmute and talk goes next. All right, guys. And people at home, who do you think it will be? All right, go, Donna.
A little more.
Well, for me, what came forward is just, I felt so called to share my gifts with the world, to step out. I know that there are people that I'm supposed to help with the gifts that I've been given. And for all of my life, I was told I could not be who I am. I couldn't share my psychic spiritual gifts with other people. And it finally got to so uncomfortable in the life that I was living that I had to break free. And this has been a beautiful platform to do that, to walk through the fire, to face the fear and do it anyway. And I am so free compared to what was going on then. And I'm so grateful because, I love helping people. And I know that's what I was created to do. So I feel like my story can help someone else, even one person. It's worth telling my story. And everybody out there has something that they've been through, that they've overcome. And that's what I'd love to share on my show. So thank you.
Thank you. So tell us, what is your inspiration for navigating this moment?
What is mine? Are you still talking to me or
no? We're next person. Nope. We're going over to Darren. Hey, sweetheart.
Hey, for us, one of the things that we talk about the Spiritual Freedom Show, and one of the things that we learn in the 9 Freedoms is that that service to others, that putting love into action is and being spiritual is really about practicing the wisdom of oneness, which is about helping the whole rather than just helping ourselves. So I can see that this is kind of the common message here about service to others, which I'm obviously delighted to be a part of. So for us, what the pandemic really prompted, one of the responses was that we have this thing we do, which is about, it's like an online prayer service about changing the world with spiritual energy. And we used to do it a couple times a week. And when the pandemic hit, it became 7 days a week that we were doing this online. So it was the opportunity to bring together hundreds of people, truth seekers who wanted to change the world, who wanted to respond in some way, who felt like they were, maybe they were stuck at home. What can I do? Well, this is something that everybody can do. And something that everybody can do is to become a channel for what we call spiritual energy. And that spiritual energy can help to raise global consciousness. It can help to transform our karma. And not only that, but also it can be the path to our own enlightenment. So the opportunity to come together as a global community with hundreds more people, so many more times a week, like you're saying, you came online many more times during the week. We did too, and that was our way of responding to helping the world at that time. So
fabulous. And so you have found that through that and all that service, obviously you've sustained your own joy, your own buoyancy, your own expansion as well.
Absolutely, because the more that certainly in my experience, the more that you serve others, the greater your own experience of oneness, the more you can find your own experience of joy, like you're saying here. And that leads to a greater desire to want to help others. And I think that's the circle of light. That's the circle, the virtuous circle that we can all be a part of, which can help us all towards this greater life, this fuller life. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love the circle. Absolutely. I love it. Thank you so much. All right. Who's next? Come on, guys. Jump in. Who's next? There it is. It's Patty. All right, Patty, let's do this. All right. All right. We're going to do this. It's going to go Patty, Jerry, and then we're going to go right there to the middle and we're going to say hi to Paula. There we are. Go ahead, Patty.
Well, what I wanted to say about the initial lockdown, it gave me opportunity to very much go into retreat, deeper time with myself, slow, everything. So many of those, obligations and put them aside. And what I saw was an influx of clients. I had somebody refer who referred more, and I had this influx of clients. And I offered more online. They were scattered all over. And I was one of those that was signed up to be there in March. Mm-hmm. And that, were practically packed and ready, and that got canceled.
Oh, get on the plane.
Exactly. It's like, no, I need this. And
so did we.
And then it delayed. We tried in June, and that was a week or so before flying that our airlines again canceled. And then we went into July, and it might have been twice. And it was within days that we were supposed to get on the plane that airline said, nope, we're not going. And I literally needed 3 different airlines to do that flight. And out of all of the group that was to be there, it was a very small group, a perfect balance of 4. And I remember, the fear could have been there easy. There was more of the restrictions. There was more, all of it. And I remember all these glitches and going, no way, commanding in that this is going to happen. And it did. And it did. And you know what? The airports were emptier. You didn't have long lines.
It was easier.
Exactly. It was so profound. And how to, ride that and lift when so many things were trying to stop that from us from getting together and being there.
So I'm hearing a lesson about tenacity.
Well, and really you're modeling that, right? And this is so really, Patty, exactly, the lesson about tenacity and the way you're sharing it right now, I'm even noticing the emotionality there. It's like looking at what that fear could do. So it feels like it was really for you learning how to navigate your fear in a new way. Does that feel right?
Oh, absolutely. Because, when things would start glitching, I'm trying to think, there was many examples, going within and going, okay, what is this in me that might be co-creating that, right? And what fear, and so it was definitely each step, trust, breathe, trust that the highest may be served.
Beautiful.
Sounds like you were using your tools, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this, I thank you, Patty. And I just want to, before I forget them, I want to acknowledge that each person has been sharing a pearl.
Yeah, I hope you guys are writing them all down.
And that Donna, to go back to our first contributor here, Donna was talking about her authenticity and the willingness to come forward and share her story and who she is, that it
as a whole person.
As a whole person.
That's the piece there, as a whole person. When we share as the whole person, the healing continues.
And then Darren continued on this vein of saying that by being in service to the oneness, our problems, aren't so big anymore, that we are focused on the oneness and the global and how to be of greater service. And Patty comes forward similarly talking about, well, we wanted to get together as community. We want, that I have a spiritual intent to do something. And I must be tenacious. I need to keep calling. I need to keep stepping forward.
Well, it's that ultimate, the universe will always keep you on a need to know basis. And it's that moment where for every up level, for every mastery moment, we will each face these moments. And that is really, each of you so far has shared the blessings that COVID has called forward. And there's 3 of you left. I'm so excited to hear.
Yeah, let's keep going.
So let's keep going. So, all right, Jerry, pick up where your cohort left off there.
Okay.
All
well,
right.
it was
Paul is on deck. Okay, go ahead.
It was such a good opportunity to go inside, and literally we were all being called inside. There was nowhere else we could go. And so you could go inside and be distracted online with what's going on, or you could really go deep inside, which many of us did. And that was such a huge gift. I don't know how many rebirths I went through during that year and learned how to cook for myself better and take care of my body better, have time to do yoga. I went on walks and found trails that I didn't even know existed in my area. I was so delighted that I was so close to the river and so had so many parks by me that I didn't even know where they were there. So I was gifted over and over by that time of respite. And then it was also a time of community too, where the Self-Ascension community got so much stronger, where we kind of linked arm in arm. So we like went inside and cared for ourselves and stabilized ourselves so that we could now come out in a bigger, stronger way because our cups were a little more full.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I'm hearing self-care.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that there was a call to reflect inward. And in that opportunity to reflect inward was the discernment of what's wholesome for me and what isn't. And just to trust that knowing. And I love that you found new pathways to freedom, new pathways for nourishing yourself.
Well, and I want to ask this, you've adopted new habits then.
Exactly. Right.
Right. So let's talk. So what are the new habits you've adopted? Because you've stabilized. I mean, what I'm hearing mirrored here is that through this process, and the word you said earlier, choice, I think that's an important one. Through that choice that you made to say, you know what, here are my options. Here's how I'm going to choose to do this time. How has that brought you to the other side? What are the new habits that are now here thanks to this moment?
Well, some of the new habits are I've got a new path that I walk daily with my dog that I enjoy. New habits of nourishing myself a little bit better. A new habit of yoga daily, and then the opportunities of expansion, continuing to expand with Self-Ascension. And of course, I've shared a lot of these things I've learned, on my radio show as well.
And that brings us back. I love how we're building. It feels like we're building this beautiful table tonight, right? I feel like we're all at this beautiful table, each putting these beautiful things down on the buffet. So thank you for adding that to the buffet, Jerry. We are grateful. Thank you. All right, Paula, beautiful one, please share with us your wisdom.
Oh, well, I was on a 2-week respite that ended up being 6 months. Because I couldn't go home. And all of a sudden, every time I tried to go home, I was told, you don't want to come here. And I became so aware of my own infinite worth and that I was enough where I was by myself, that I was complete and capable no matter what was coming, and my strength almost shocked me how strong I felt. And it was like the waves were everywhere, and everything that I didn't want, I was aware of. And some of that came because of the practice that I was already in, not only breathing quite often, and breathing others, but I realized I can actually breathe people on Zoom, which I never did before. I was not going to even be open to that for a while, but that was quite easy. And all my clients would gather once a week. We would breathe through Zoom. But also I was, and still am, a student of the I Am Presence. So reading those invocations out loud every day with whoever was there for 1 hour straight shifted me right back into a place that my heart, the energy of creation, felt like it was in me, and I was being given the opportunity to choose my own destiny in that moment. And I never considered, it was like a creative force out of a storm and havoc around me. And and I had people listening to things, and I wasn't listening to anyone but what was in me. I have not. And it was really expanding in a way that love rules. God won already. These are things I kept hearing. God won this. This is God's world. This isn't anybody else's world. and the strength I was, and at 6 months later, my father passed away and I couldn't be there. So that challenge of that energy, it just really, my heart was broken, and thank God he was open to talking on Zoom. But it really, it separated me in a way that I realized that all my journey, I have been in a place where that receiving information that you just keep to yourself, because most everybody around me was on a different path. So, and making that okay to keep connecting to a creative force that was running through me, that made it okay for me to be right where I was every moment. And if I didn't do that, I could feel like energy wanting to almost creep in when I didn't stay centered. Like, oh, am I ever going to get home? What's going on in my home? It's like, and eventually, it's like, so it's funny that we're doing this show, because I just traveled 1,000 miles and I'm in the exact place I was when COVID broke out right now.
Of course you are. Of course you are.
It's so funny because I traveled.
No, it's perfect, sweetheart. Yeah.
So it was really wonderful. So yeah, it was really a major shift of knowing who I am. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. And,
Yeah.
and I just to offer the mirror back, the feedback, what I'm hearing is a couple of wonderful spiritual gifts that arose as a result of this pandemic. And one of them was clarity about your choices, a clarity about your spiritual path, and the willingness to take action and to gather with people and to claim who you are.
Well, and on top of that claiming, I'm hearing a lot of downright naked authenticity. The opportunity to be, well, which is like, that's what we're all about, right? So it's really about looking at yourself with that lack of ego and the illuminated smile of the mastery presence that goes, oh, there it is. There I am, right? Reciting the I am over and over again. There I am, therefore it is. The law of instantaneous manifestation empowers through. So what a wonderful dance. And, the one thing before we bring in Jess, and then we're going to continue with some other phenomenal things that we want to dive into here, the collectiveness so far, the oneness of what you're all sharing, because what I'm really witnessing from all of you is your personal commitment to really harvesting the jewels of any situation. Doesn't matter whether the word COVID is on it or not. It's about the recognition that every breath is a blessing to harvest a jewel. And each one of your responses is so beautiful. And I'm praying that all of you at home are really paying attention. And I'm sure you're at home going, yeah, I did that, or I'm not doing that, or maybe I could do that. And so thank you, Paula. We're so excited. And what a gift. And Jess, your turn. Take us home on this one, because we've got some others to go into.
Yeah, absolutely. I just am echoing that, all of these jewels of the experience, and I'm just hearing trust, that there was this anchoring of trust in each and every one of us. And that was it for me. It was a call to action for me. The moment it happened, I went, oh, I always thought I'd be on the front line somewhere out there, but I was like, oh, the front lines are here and this is the moment. And it was very much a re-up moment, like, oh, I see. It's totally different than in my imagination what the front line would look like. This is our front lines. And immediately I felt that call to reach out to people. I'd already moved in that direction of more online work, and it just accelerated that. My kids started studying at home and being at home, and that changed everything an awful lot. And it was a blessing in so many ways. And also there came the moment where it was good. They were ready to go back, and it's been the best years of my life. Actually, these have been the most incredible years. And there was stressful moments. Like, you're kidding, it's stressful at times, but it's these it's what brings forward your actual trust in these moments and allows you to accelerate your growth. So it has been, I mean it, the most incredible experience to ride this. So thank you. I'll let us flow into our rest of our show, but I really do appreciate, because I know all of us are receiving these jewels right now, and so many of you out there have them.
Well, before we go any further though, Jess, let's take 1 second here, because you are single mom, 2 teenage boys, navigating that. And this has been a challenge. And I know we have a lot of other single parents tuning in going, hey, Jess, wait a minute, you just kind of skimmed over that part. How has that been? And now you're walking through your children transitioning back. I mean, this has been a big thing. So from the perspective of a single mom who is dealing with children who are no longer able to interface with their friends, suddenly you've become part-time school teacher, part-time mother, part-time everything else. How was that adaptation? How did you navigate that with your children?
I had to realize there was a lot of things to just let go. There was a lot of those balls that just said, hey, this is a crazy thing we're navigating. Do your best with this online school, but I cannot be I really am not your teacher in this instance, like trusting them to do what they needed to do, and also just navigating it and really having conversations with the teachers and other parents. And because of online, they're so connected, these young people online, that they're with their friends in that space all the time, so for them, but they really did miss that ability to be there. And it was hard, initially with all of those decisions and everything being made and navigating it all. But it was really about just letting go of like, okay, here's things I cannot control, and here's where I can, and just letting it really be. And as we've navigated moving back, there's all the shifts that have happened in all of our own household and consciousness. Really, it's been smooth, and it's been a lot of beauty seeing all of these kids, because I've known, it's a small school, I've known all these children since they were kindergartners too. So they're really flourishing, though. They really are incredible hope and love that they have. They really haven't let this deter them, and they're more determined, and they have an understanding that we didn't all have because of their perspective of going through this.
Yeah, well, I think, for children, I think there can be a beautiful gift of resilience and self-awareness that can come through this based upon how they're being shepherded. So thank you for modeling that.
And I want to point out that as a parent, our role is to hold an energy,
right?
More than to hold words and guidelines. It's in your energy of trust, your energy of I'm committed, and you seek to empower your children to say, I know you got this. I'm not your teacher. Pay attention to the other way.
Right. Modeling the mastery presence, which is what all of you are talking about. And Shri, I know we're diving into some other subjects here. Let's take us forward.
Yeah. So by way of transition a little bit, each one of these beautiful people has offered the community a gift of their presence and the lessons that they are calling forward and anchoring as a result of their presence.
Yes.
And I do think it would be wonderful for us all to share some action steps. One of the things that I've observed in life is there's a lot of times people talk about the problems, quote unquote, but they don't give equal voice to the solutions, let alone take action to make things happy for themselves.
How do we navigate, right?
Right. And before we toss it to each of our hosts, I just want to add something. One of the things I've observed in the little bit of time I spend surfing and looking around is that I don't do a lot of that anymore. I'm pretty much right here. However,
private joke.
Anyway, the one thing I have observed is I feel that humanity as a whole has perhaps not honored the grieving process. COVID.
Now, wait, before you go any further, breathe that in. Before he goes any further, consider that humanity is grieving right now. Just really consider that. Go ahead.
And that COVID was a loss of normality, a loss of lives, a loss of
stability,
stability, and it ignited fear, which was a sense of uncertainty. So there is a natural human grieving process that we evoke. And, certainly Kubler-Ross brought this to the public consciousness many years ago. But the key here is to recognize that if we do not honor our own hearts and what is no longer available, life has changed.
We are in a new world.
If we don't honor that process, then the subconscious anger has nowhere to go but to the outer world. And in fact, we're angry that we've been, quote unquote, forced to respond.
To whatever. And we're not, whatever.
And so I just wanted to kind of bring that forward, that I think each of us has gone through some form of a grieving process, whether consciously and fully or not. And I don't want to invite a conversation about grieving. What I want to invite is a contribution about active, positive steps one can take in the face of a changing world.
Yeah. So taking a breath, and we're just going to continue the same way. All right. Who would like to share first? All right, Patty, I see you're ready. Please do. And then Donna, you'll be next. Go ahead.
Active steps. Well, as Jerry mentioned earlier, deeper self-care, deeper, the time that hopefully many of us took to understand ourselves even more, to go into the trust our own intuitive knowing. And so I took a lot of time. I very much recognized that there was a lot of anger out there. And in that, being more discerning on who I connected with. And sometimes it's people that are close to us, right? And just stepping back and creating your own safe cocoon. And I noticed how some people, it's hard for them to be alone.
Yeah.
Right. And to help support people to feel safe in being alone. And what might that bring up? We might have to face some of those feelings. And as a single person, what I noticed was that I wasn't getting touch.
Yeah.
Right. So I had clients who would give me hugs and family, friends, and I'd get massages. Well, during that time, I couldn't go for a massage. And it's known that, touch helps our immune system. So that was an interesting thing to navigate. And okay, maybe taking that bath and giving more love and touching ourselves. And my pet was here, but that brought forward some of those really interesting areas too.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
What a wonderful reminder for everyone.
Wow, great wisdom.
Human touch is both healing and boosts your resilience.
What a beautiful reminder.
And I love the idea. The hot bath is a favorite of mine.
Yes. Oh my goodness, yes. All right. Thank you, my angel. All right, Donna, please. And then after Donna, Jess will go. Go ahead, Donna.
Yes, thank you, Patty. That is a great reminder. And I know during that time, and I think Shri and Kara, I think you mentioned this on one of your shows, to use the essential oils to really honor our feet and wash our feet and put the essential oils on morning and night and really, thank our feet. And for me, it was really focusing on not buying into the fear, because fear reduces our immune system. And so I tried to get some sort of sunlight, get outside every day. Fortunately, I have a dog, and so I was going outside with her, walking her, and that really helps. Doing breathing exercises really helps. And journaling, writing about the grieving process, writing about the disappointments from not being able to go see my kids, from not being able to have that human to human contact, and all of those kinds of things. So yes, fortunately I had my pet, which really made a difference and helped, and making sure to communicate more with people. I know Zoom blew up all over the world because that was a way that we could connect and see people. So meditation, That helps. And visualizing what you want and releasing it and remembering that we are energy and we can transmute anything, including fear. Fear is an illusion, right? And so not allowing myself to get bogged down with really the fear, any emotion, but really the fear, and trying to stay centered, love myself more, take more care of myself, making sure that I was eating light food, more fruits and vegetables, things that would make me feel lighter, not heavier. I think that was an important part for navigating through that, what felt like a very heavy time energetically, right? So thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Good tips.
You know, I'm just loving it because what everyone, and I know all of you are receiving, these people are sharing what they are living. And that's why they're so radiantly amazing this evening. And so thank you for that beautiful reminder and great wisdom again. I'm so grateful. And thank you. All right, Jess.
Yes. So for me, it's always about nature. I'm a nature girl. So it's really was about getting outside and honoring. I mean, letting yourself walk or cry, letting yourself walk or laugh, letting yourself process whatever you need to process, and being outside really helps us to access that. I find that ability to connect, to receive the bigger perspective. As soon as we get out of our four walls, you go, oh, that's right, there's this whole universe out here. And that for me really was the key. And I don't want to take too much time because we're already 5 minutes to the top of the hour, guys. So this is incredible, and we might have to
Throw away
continue
the
this
clock.
conversation.
Oh, yeah. In whose world of linear time, you know? All right. All right, Jess, take over. Who's next? All right, we have
share what's alive.
Who's next?
Go for it.
All right, Darren, go for it.
Yeah, I'd just like to say, kind of on this theme of putting love into action, I think, which is kind of emerging here tonight a lot, right? Is that I think one of the something we can all do to help others, as I was saying before, is becoming this channel for spiritual energy, right? And one of the simplest ways, one of the best ways that I know to do that is simply prayer. Maybe not in the way that everybody knows, but in the sense of transmitting energy, right? And to us, prayer is about transmitting energy from you, the person who's praying, to some place, some person, somewhere, some people in need. And by using this technique of dynamic prayer, we can all become a channel for this energy. It's something that's so easy to use. It's something we can do from anywhere. It's something that embraces these yogic principles of the chakras and of visualization, and something where we can literally experience physically this flow of spiritual energy.
And I know we can, Darren, and I'm going to have to interrupt you because Jess is smiling at me saying, Kira, we're going to end the show. And so Paula and Jerry, I am so sorry. Jess, do we have time for them to say one word or no? One word, go. Paula.
Holding sacred space for anybody that needed to say anything and feel anything.
All right. I love it. Jerry.
Compassion for everyone and what everyone's going through.
Woohoo! And we are compassionately in love with all of you.
Yes.
Thank you for saying yes to this moment and yourself.
And I want to honor a bow of respect to each and every one of you, and to all of you who are tuning in. As you love yourselves more, as you love the world more, we send out a radiation of healing energy, and only good can arise from this. Only expansion arises from this, and each of these hosts are they're walking their talk, and I love it.
And we love you. And we also want to give a shout out to our producer sitting there on the other side of the camera, to Manu Mac. We love you. Thank you for making this happen. And for all of you out there, may you know that together we are better. Every moment, every breath is a gift. May the smile of your mastery presence ever illuminate you. We love you. We are grateful.
Namaste.